We now warmly welcome to the stage two serving Ukrainian soldiers who have traveled 2 days to be here and share their insights with us, and we're grateful to them and their colleagues for what they're doing to defend their land and ours. Alexander is head of the Air Training Department of the 3rd Army Corps, overseeing the full cycle of air defense preparation for the Corps. Volodymyr is chief of the Information Security Service in the Nemesis Regiment, formerly the founder of a successful games development company, and now with leadership experience in the Donbass trenches. He is now responsible for military R&D in his regiment. The panel is moderated by the formidable Ukrainian investor, Evelyn Bichatsky.
So, welcome everyone. I've been in this tech business long enough to have done dozens of panels, but truly this is the most special one in my entire life, because for the first time ever, I have the privilege of being on stage with, exclusively with the Armed Forces of Ukraine, the bravest army in the world, while they're fighting the largest scale war of the century. So it's a privilege and a treat to this audience. And when we were backstage, they told me they feel more nervous here than on the trenches. But we'll give them, an easy time. We're not going to go too hard on them. But I think it's important for them to take the time to be here to pass the message, because this fight is not only their fight, it's your fight as well. And you are getting a little bit of a taste in the last couple weeks. But first, I wanted them to introduce themselves. So Alexander and Volodymyr, thank you for being here. Can you please tell us about your role in the Armed Forces of Ukraine? What do you do for the Armed Forces of Ukraine?
Yeah, okay, thank you, Evelyn. I'm glad to see you all here. I'm thankful that I am able to sit here. I'm glad to know that you all involved here, and I hope that you want to know our experience and to know what we are doing. So for now, I am responsible for the air defense. I think the main thing in fights right now, after infantry, of course. So I am the head of the training department of the air defense of the whole corps. So it's around 180 kilometers, our zone of responsibility in the length, and 50 kilometers in depth. And everything that flies in the air, it's my responsibility to don't let it shoot our guys, don't let it make reconnaissance, etc., etc.
Volodymyr.
Yeah, thank you. Hello, everyone. My name is Volodymyr. I'm representative of Nemesis Regiment. Now my key responsibilities are R&D, communication, and testing, especially with foreign countries. Before this, I was in infantry for 2.5 years with combat experience, and after this I joined the Nemesis Regiment of Unmanned System Forces. For me, it's a great pleasure to be here, and first of all, I want to say thank you to all European countries, especially Britain, because it's very deep in my heart. It's second time that I'm here. First time I was here like 20 years ago. It was a military training, and at that time, British guys were training us some things that really helped us later. And now, in 20 years, we are trying to do our best to share our combat experience with you guys. So thank you.
Amazing. So we are at a Defense Tech conference. Everybody has heard of how Ukraine wins battles. It's through technology, it's through the rapid speed of iteration of these technologies, adoption, procurement of these technologies. But how does it really happen? I wanted to learn from you, especially for the founders in the audience and for your peers, members of other militaries. How does it really happen in the battlefield to adopt the technologies? How do you work with startups? How do they know what you need? How do they come to you for testing? How long does it take to test a particular solution? How do you give them feedback? What is this interaction with the startups?
Okay, so to be short, it's easy now to to share experience with us and to earn our experience and to the knowledge that we have. For now, to make it much more easier to work with you as producers of any goods, we start to work with ourselves R&Ds. That began as a small workshops because a lot of weapons that came from the West, from the all countries, all type of weapons, from drones to another, to reconnaissance, everything. Almost every time we need to adapt it for the real situation on the battlefield. That's why we intend to make the small workshops which change something in drone, change something in some guns, etc., etc. Now these workshops grow to some R&D projects that we have people who have the best experience in the world now. We take these brains out of the trenches, put them in some laboratories, some big workshops, and they are there to stay in touch with you, to share the knowledge that they know from the battlefield, from us, from the guys in the trenches. They collect it and they share it with the producer of any good. Okay, you should do this one. This is a good idea. This is a bad idea. We should scale it and we should come back to some researches with this. That's how it works totally in a grant.
Yeah, I will add that in our regiment we have also R&D departments. We call it departments, but usually just few guys responsible for some area. For example, it can be interceptors, it can be C component, it can be reconnaissance drones. So they're the most experienced, and they're taking care about some testing, giving feedback for young teams that are bringing their products. If to speak about foreign partners, usually we are connected through defense attaché of these countries or on some horizontal levels for people that are coming to Ukraine, that are looking for some advices in testing. Evelyn was asking about time. For us, time for testing, it's very quick. As soon as we get a product, we can go to the testing field like in a day, and then in the same day to give the real feedback to the guys that bring us. So it's very quick on our side.
So do the engineers and sometimes the founders of these startups, do they go to combat with you?
Not to the combat. It's close enough, I think, but not too close. So of course they are able to see. Volodymyr said about the test field. It may be a little bit far from the front line, but on the next day we give this product to the guys that test fields for them are the battlefield, and we are in touch with them. So the founders of anything, they can just sit with us in some safe place, and in real time he will see and hear the feedback from the direct front line. That's how it works now.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I will add that on the initial stage, we are testing in safe locations. So it can be near Kyiv, it's very safe. And even in this room, there are a few guys that were on the test together with me, and they can confirm that it's easy to test and it's a safe location. So you shouldn't be afraid to come and contact us to give your products for testing. Again, it's initial stage. For the combat, we'll do it our own as soon as we are sure that this product is ready for real combat.
So you have now, let's say, a mobile fire unit going after Shaheeds, and you're sitting there, it's late at night, that's usually where, when Shaheeds come, and you're thinking, this and that's not working. I need a certain technological solution, a certain feature. How do you make sure that that is passed on to the innovators, to the startups? Do you come first to the producers that dare to be there with you? Is that usually how it works?
We have some, I think, every regiment, every type of war regiment. Okay, they have some producers with which they work all through all of the war. So we know that they are the main reason we work with them. That they hear us, they know our experience, and they hear it, and they adapt for the real situation. That's why we just call them and said, okay, we need to fix something, and they say, okay, what we need to fix, we fix it. It work again. Few months, I think, no more than few months. That's what how it works now. I heard from this panel that somebody told that Ukrainian companies not thinking strategical, but think only on urgently. The thing is that in modern war, and we can tell you for sure, strategically is urgent because everything changes in 2 months. If you think that you can make something and it will work for years, I think it's impossible because now every 2-3 months, product that was useful for 80+% half a year ago, in half a year it decrease and decrease. You should adapt it all the time. That's why urgent is strategical for now. And we should keep in touch. Also, we in touch with these guys, with the producers which we are working for every day, all the day. That's how it works.
Yeah, on a previous panel also, I heard an investor say, well, I don't invest in Ukraine for obvious reasons. And to be honest, I was a bit shocked because I, as an investor, I invest in Ukraine for obvious reasons. So it's quite the opposite. But moving on to air defense, it just so happened that coincidentally, both of you are in the air defense business. And right now, air defense is one of the most critical and demanding areas of all. As I was leaving Kyiv yesterday, there were 643 attacks by a combination of drones and missiles. And that's our everyday reality in Kyiv and the rest of Ukraine. So, how does it feel to be in that situation when you know you have hundreds of shaheeds and missiles coming after you? Tell me a little bit of that experience. How do you coordinate the different ways to defend yourself through Gepards and interceptors and F-16s and helicopters? It's incredible. How does it feel?
It's pretty hard. It's incredible, and at the same time, it's pretty hard. So for numbers, if I can say, it's very approximate. But for now, in our country, we need to use up to 100,000 of people that involved in air defense. That's the plane operators, that's the drone operators, that's the guys that just shoot it from manpads, from Gepards, as you said. Totally, it's up to 100,000 of people. And we need to coordinate them all over the country, and it's pretty hard. So, of course, we feel not good when some of the drones hit the target, but there is so much of them that it's really, we are suffering from not enough of weapons and not enough of such drones. So we have people to operate these drones. We have people to operate that systems, trained people who have a lot of experience. But for now, what we see in Europe in the few days, already a lot of people told about this drone attacks on the airports, some reconnaissance, unknown drones, etc., etc. We already start to feel from the military part of Collective West that they start to understand that systems that they gave us before, like the same Gepards, Patriots, etc., they needed too. But the thing is that mostly, as for me, European countries, they think that such such expensive things can help from such drones that we faced every day. Unfortunately, it's not working like this. This Shahed, the cost of Shahed or Gerbera or Geran, it's up to, okay, $100,000, up to the maximum. It's more of the time, it's less than this. And to hit it by $1 million cost sum, it's not working like missiles, it's not working like this. We need to evolve. They evolve, the enemy evolving every day. It makes it cheaper and cheaper day by day. Believe me, we see it, and you can see it also in the news. We need to do the same. The expensiveness and expertise and ideal product is not working now. Now concepts are working. Every day adapting concept. Because if you will explore the rocket for $1 million in 1 month or 2 months, it will be not adaptable for realities. So now it's time to make some startups and to make new sellers.
I want just to add that nowadays we have a lot of and different types of interceptors, Ukrainian-made, US, German-made, that are working. And we are working with them every day. For example, my unit, we are intercepting about like 10% of all drones that are entering Ukrainian airspace. And I'm sure that we can intercept much more. The issue is that we are just lacking means, we are lacking interceptors. And the answer from all like European producers is just that they can't scale production. So for now, for me personally, I think the industrialization and scaling production of means in Ukraine, in Europe, it doesn't matter. It's the key challenge for everyone because we can have a lot of technologies, a lot of cool startups that are producing really nice assets, but as soon as we don't have enough number of them, it's not the point that we're looking for. So please make more weapons.
Yeah, so yeah, when you're designing these systems, you need to keep that in mind. So there is, for instance, I know of a very successful interceptor, the most successful interceptor in Ukraine now, with a 80% interception rate, which is really high, but they use components that are made in the tens a month when they need to be done in 1,000. So it gets to the point of, even though you have an amazing system, it doesn't put a dent in the universe if you can only supply these guys with a few dozens a month when you need tens of thousands. So scaling is very important when you're designing the systems. Now, if you had one capability that you would bring to your units now, what would that capability be? If you had the magic wand that says, ding, I have this capability now, what's on your wish list?
Make it impossible to launch the drones from Russia, I think. Like,
Okay.
but I think that my magic wand is not so powerful. So as for me, if it's only one, non-visual tracking of drones in the air. So we thought about this a lot, and for now, to be short, I think that the answer on this question is in acoustic systems on the drone of the interceptor drone. I will explain why we need it, because now, as far day by day, the weather in Ukraine is close to United Kingdom weather. It's sometimes some rainy, foggy, etc., etc. And our interceptors are working on the optical vision. So once you are unable to see the drone by eye, even IE, if IE cannot see the drone by visual signs, it cannot intercept it. And the weather becomes worse and worse, and that means that most time of the year the weather is not good enough to make in time visual considerations that we need to hit the drone. That's why maybe acoustic sensors on such drones can find the engine, for example, and hit it. And the second option is we think about the radars, but not on the ground, 3D radars, but not on the ground, but on the drone. If we have some small radar on the drone, for example, 500 meters, it can locate 360, 500 meters, and we have IE on it, so we can connect it, and this drone can find the enemy drone on the radar, IE start working, hit the drone. That's what my thoughts.
Okay, Volodymyr, what's on your wish list?
For my wish list, I think I would propose just to have some very cheap short-range ground-to-air missile air defense that can work, because again, interceptors, drone interceptors, that's a forced solution that we are using because we don't have enough cheap missiles. I know that a lot of guys are now working on air defense, short range, up to 10 kilometers missiles that can cost, I don't know, like 10, 15K. Very important, as it was mentioned, all-weather missiles, but they definitely can be a game changer.
Okay. By the way, there were a lot of news about the Flamingo missile from Ukraine. Do you think the enemy is working on a similar solution of very cheap missiles, long range? Do you think they're doing that?
I'm not an expert in this part but I think they don't need it so much as we are, because they have money to produce more expensive things, and they have some guys near them that already Z guys are working on
On the chip missile.
yes, Z guys.
Yeah.
But I think that enemy, the Russia, don't need it. They think that they have enough money, and they have it for now from some incomes. They don't struggle in money. They can make it expensive and so on.
So the pressure is more on us to be more efficient and innovative because of budget constraints.
Yes.
Also, if you may, I just want to point one thing, that expensive for Russia means different than for European countries and US. Missiles in Russia, they are much, much cheaper in terms of production than in US and Europe. So for them, it's already a cheap solution, and they produce already a lot of them. And here, I think the main threat, I can say it, for us, it's also China that is supporting them. So with this, we need just to find a joint effort so we can find these high technological solutions that can overcome this mess of resources from China, Russia.
So the attack that we experienced yesterday, the 643, which wasn't, by the way, the biggest one, if that same exact attack was here in London, God forbid, how do you think they would handle? I know you want to be nice to your peers, but at the same time, let's be honest with ourselves, right? So how do you think they would handle the same exact attack to London that we experienced yesterday in Kiev?
From the side of air defense and from the side of history, I know that United Kingdom, that was the first country who met the first in the world, it was in World War II, battle for Britain, the thing when only air component was fighting, air and anti-air components. That was the first time in the world when United Kingdom faced it, we are an island, yeah? We cannot just come by legs. We need to fly over or to come by ships. After that, that was a blitz operation that destroyed a lot of, as I know, a lot of parts of London and killed a lot of people. So I think that United Kingdom, people of United Kingdom understand perfectly that air defense is the main, the main stage for you. That's why, to answer your question, I think for now, at this moment, United Kingdom and any European, and I think even maybe United States country, they are unable to face so much drones. It's just, you don't have so much of systems, so many systems that can handle it. That's why I think that maybe some army positions, some airports, etc., it will feel more or less okay. But you see what Russia doing. They hit not the army, they hit the civilians. They hit some productions of, I don't know, water cups or etc. They hit just everything. That's why we need to close the sky, not the special building. We should just close all over the sky. And for now, unfortunately, we see from our side that Europe and West, collective West, are not ready for such threats, for such quantities.
I have a bit different. I'm maybe more optimistic for British Air Forces, especially for Royal Air Forces, and I'm sure that they can protect from this attack, but it can be only 1 or 2 times till they have enough missiles, so they can protect, but not more than 2 or 3 days. And we see it, in fact, in the example of Israel, where they have like the most advanced air defense system. As soon as they faced the previous threats with Shaheds and so on, they spent billions in days, and at the end they say that they can't go forward with this. So I think it will be the same with any European country, even especially with NATO country. You have joint forces that can protect you, but this protection won't stay for long.
It's clear that we have a common enemy. What keeps you up at night? What's the enemy preparing that keeps you up at night? What's next? What's the biggest threat from the enemy now?
Scaling. I think it's
Their
one.
scale.
They are scaling,
Okay.
and they are scaling not their ideas. They are scaling
Your
our ideas. Yes, because they see what we are good at and they can scale it. Believe me, they start very slowly all the time, like very, very, big, like elephant or something, or rhino. But when they already run, it's pretty hard to stop it. I think that from the 2022, we had maybe 5 to 7 years until they reach the possibility to run. Now they are not running yet. I feel that they are not running yet. In technical part, maybe in people they already start to run out, but for Russia it was never a problem with people. They don't care about the people. They just go and fight. But in technical production, they are just start running. And believe me, when they run in full power, I'm not sure that we will be able to overtake them. That's what we need to do now. We need to overtake them now.
And we shouldn't underestimate they are not just production, but also their research and development skills, because they have a lot of state like supported very skilled guys that are also working on different AI solutions and so on. And it's not like at the beginning of the full-scale invasion, then they were using just people. Now they are also advancing in different software solution, technical, and so on. So we need to be like few steps ahead, and this is really a challenge for all of us.
There is a recent Rubicon threat. Tell me about that.
Shortly, they did what we said before. They scale our experience. For now, for example, if we're speaking about the interceptor, we are intercepting not only big drones like Shahed, but also the searching drones, reconnaissance drones of the enemy. We used some equipment for this. They start to do the same, but moreover, they overtake us in one small part. They prepare the small platoons. Only mission of which one is to find our interceptor team, find our radar teams, and destroy it. Once they do this, they again have the full power in the air, and we know what happened at the beginning of the war when we cannot handle all the reconnaissance drones. They just use artillery better, use tanks better, everything better. That's what they do now. The Rubicon is a regiment that's scaling our experience, but make it sometimes even better. Now, sometimes it's okay, we are at war, we are scaling their inventions, and we will do this also. So they are the really strong guys, intelligent guys.
Also, I will add that Rubicon is the most technologically advanced unit in Russian armed forces. They are unfortunately extremely good at what they are doing, and we see it at front line. As soon as they come into some areas, we see direct impact to our drones, their countermeasures. So it's really extremely advanced guys, and now they're trying to scale them. And for us, it's a big threat. That's why we are now just on our side as a unit making cruise places like high priority target. Sometimes even it's more high priority target their pilots than tanks on the battlefield, and that's the reality of the life, yeah.
So we're running out of time. I'm truly thankful. I think the military aid should be rebranded. It's not military aid. It's actually an investment in you, in 400,000 plus extremely experienced soldiers that are ready to not only defend Ukraine's integrity, but all of Europe. So thank you, and I invite everybody to stand up and thank you.
Thank you, Evelyn.
So may I have a last word?
Yes. Thank you. Do you have a few words?
I would just want to say that we are here to share the experience, and that plans to grow up to 2029. we hope that our experience will help you to grow faster. That's all.
Thank you, guys.